I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City Council meeting, February 16th, 2026. With that, if we could have roll call, please.
Luther,
Here.
Crow,
Here.
Sutherland,
Here.
Yonko, Pickard, here, Webbs,
Here.
Gentz,
Here.
Solberg,
Here.
Herdman,
Here.
Sommerfeld.
Here. Okay, thank you. Approval of minutes. If anybody would like to make a motion to approve the last meeting's minutes, you can do so. Abigail?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from February 2nd, 2026 City Council meeting.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Rylan?
Yep, I would second Abby's motion.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving down to public comments. Public comments is a portion of our meeting where anybody can speak for 3 minutes or less on agenda items. So please come up to the podium, give us your name and address, make sure the microphone is on, and you can speak for 3 minutes or less on agenda items for the evening. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Chad Schlew, 2103 Jansen Court. I'm here on 4A, Ward 9 Alderperson appointment. I will be in attendance if you have any questions for me, but a couple of things, I guess you guys all read hopefully you could read it. I read my thing there, but a couple of things I didn't have on there is, I guess, former volunteer of the month for Stepping Stones. I do work with the Build a Bed group and packed a bunch of lunches for less fortunate people. So I'll be in attendance if you guys have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Brogan. I'm also speaking on behalf of Agenda Item 4A, the consideration of replacement Ward 9 alderperson till the April 27th election. My wife, Lisa, of 33 years, is also in attendance. I've lived in Menomonie since coming to UW Stout as a student in 1979 after graduating from high school. We've lived in Ward 9 for over 35 years, residing in our current residence at 1608 South 15th Street Southeast for 33 of those years. What began as our starter house has become our home. And over these years, we've come to know, help, and appreciate our neighbors well and fully understand the needs of the Ward 9 and City of Menomonie residents, how to strategically grow into the future, giving younger generations of Menomonie reasons to stay and grow and keep their families here. I strongly believe my 16 years of previous city council experience and my business background and community involvement, as well as the energy I will bring to the position, makes me a deserving, well-qualified candidate for your appointment to fill the vacancy until the 2027 election process. Some of the highlights of my time on the council include the development of the UW Stout football stadium, construction of the Wakanda Water Park, and the new playground equipment up at Wakanda. From a personal standpoint, having been a downtown business owner and perspective from there, I was proud in creating an event that brought up to 1,500 people to downtown Menomonie twice a year, Reggae Fest, which also benefited other restaurants, bars, hotels, and gas stations, as we would typically get alumni and visitors from many other states for the event, including from 8 different states one year, and generating non-perishable food items for the food pantry from all those events. I sincerely appreciate your time and dedication in serving the city of Menomonie and reviewing my qualifications. Thank you for your consideration, allowing me to join you on the council as we move Menomonie forward. I too will be here to answer any questions you may have. Thanks for your consideration.
Thank you, Pat.
Eric Hostetter, E5355 674th Avenue, Menomonie. I'm here on behalf of agenda item 5G for the softball tournament for the youth girls softball. So I will be here for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Hi, I'm Katie Byer. I live at E7631 North County Road E in Elk Mound. I'm speaking on behalf of the Menomonie Farmers Market regarding agenda item 5E as the Vice President of the Market Board of Directors. The Menomonie Farmers Market is a nonprofit organization founded to support local growers and producers by offering a location for them to sell their products directly to the community. We essentially provide a storefront in the city for our rural farmers, small businesses, and local artists. We deeply value our partnership with the City of Menomonie in allowing us to use Wilson Park and helping to secure WEDC grant funding in 2014 to build the Farmers Market Pavilion for us to use as our summer home since 2016. The pavilion allows the market to successfully operate rain or shine from May through October. We've shared Wilson Park with Let's Paint the Town event for our last 3 seasons. In 2023 and 2024, we're allowed to stay in the pavilion during the event. In 2025, their approved event request required that the market either close 2 hours early with essentially no parking available and significantly reduced access to the pavilion for the 3 hours that we were going to be allowed to be open, or to relocate out of the park completely. We chose to relocate and receive significant negative feedback from our customers ahead of, during, and after the Let's Paint the Town event. I also have results from a market vendor survey we conducted regarding the Let's Paint the Town event. It outlines multiple negative impacts on their individual businesses and the market as a whole. Based on this feedback, we started working with city administration on this proposed resolution and tried to work directly with the Let's Paint the Town committee beginning in November to have a site plan that would benefit everyone. We are happy to partner with other organizations, including Let's Paint the Town, to maximize usage of Wilson Park and bring other family-friendly events into our community. We're excited to have Murals in Menomonie held for 5 days in Wilson Park this summer, and are confident that their plan for road closures around the park and the site plan during the market hours will not have negative impacts and will enhance the experience for both events for our community and the visitors that are coming from outside the area. We specifically feel that items number 7 and number 8 in the resolution allow for the city to have flexibility in approving additional event requests for Wilson Park, while ensuring a consistent, accessible storefront for our local farmers and market patrons under the pavilion. I respectfully request approval of Resolution 2026-04 as written and the associated special event requests. I will remain in the audience in case you have questions when you get to that agenda item. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Katie.
My name is Richard Thomas. I live at N2010 420th Street in Downsville, or in Menomonie. I'm here to comment publicly on agenda item 5E. As a member of this community since the early 1980s, I'm well familiar with the market. I began using it as a consumer when I operated the creamery and happily supported both it and the Hmong growers that at that time were just getting started in the area. The original market at the parking lot adjacent to the Dairy State Bank grew in both size and scope during the next few years, moving to the fairgrounds and then to Wilson Park. Eventually, the current pavilion was designed and built. It has been and continues to be a centerpiece to this community, both for the growers, producers, and the consumers who use it on a biweekly basis all summer long. It brings fresh, high-quality food and food producer products to Menomonie residents who readily and commonly attend. It also provides income to the local growers who continue to grow their customer base and income. In 2021, someone in Menomonie got the idea to host an event called Let's Paint the Town. It was held downtown the first year and has been moving further east every year since. I believe, though I have not talked to anyone about it, that it has been moved east as it has caused a disruption both logistically and financially for the downtown businesses who I suspect have complained about it. In other words, not in my backyard, which then brings us to Let's Paint the Town's move to Wilson Park and our removal last year. We, as longstanding members, were removed from the park last year to the food co-op who graciously took us in. Let's Paint the Town, though good on paper, was, I believe, poor in practice. It ruined the day for many of the regular vendors. The signage was incomplete and inadequate. People had difficulty finding the market at all, much less finding a parking space in their favorite vendor. For example, the Hmong vendor across from me never had a customer during the 3.5 hours while I was at the market. It was, in my opinion, an abject failure. In short, a free-for-all, bringing income and business to out-of-town vendors at the expense of our downtown businesses and ignoring the long-term producers and users of the regular market. If people in this community want Let's Paint the Town, then it should be held on Sunday in the park or Saturday elsewhere, such as the fairground. To allow it anytime Saturday before 3 or 4 p.m. neither allows time for market vendors to leave or new vendors to properly set up. The pavilion was built primarily for the farmers market. The vendors are used to the location. The consumers are used to the location. We would like to continue to use it for this purpose. To remove us from the pavilion is neither logical nor moral. I urge the acceptance of the resolution 2026-04. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Richard.
Jeff Frawley, 300 Crescent Street, Menomonie. I'm here tonight to express my support for the farmers market as well. As a business owner in this town, the farmers market is an amazing event that draws people into our community and has a long history of working well with other businesses, events, and organizations throughout Menomonie. The farmers market draws people into town who stick around and spend money at our local businesses. It was recently brought to my attention that an email went out asking people to send letters to the mayor and the council requesting that the agreement with the farmers market be changed to allow Let's Paint the Town full access to Wilson Park and the pavilion on every third Saturday in July. Please do your due diligence before supporting an event that first expects you to cause a negative impact on a long-lasting staple of our community. Removing 25% of 1 month's revenue for a seasonal business would be detrimental. The audacity of even asking is mind-blowing. I served on the downtown board since the inception of Let's Paint the Town. I was involved through the whole thing, and based on my experience, I would like to offer a word of warning about the risks associated with involvement. I cannot count how many times our board spent trying, or how much time our board spent trying to protect the organization from accidentally operating illegally. But laws were broken, and there was absolutely zero accountability. In the end, the decision was made that the event had virtually no support from the downtown business owners, and our involvement was not worth jeopardizing the organization any further. If this is something you are considering, I would suggest an IRS field audit. The last year that downtown was involved, we required registration that included tax IDs and licenses. Multiple vendors refused. I do not know of one tax-paying downtown business that has seen an influx in sales during Let's Paint the Town. The farmers market, however, is a completely different story. People do come downtown after. 2 years ago, Let's Paint the Town blocked the parking lot of a downtown business by placing their stage and beer truck in front of a brewery. Paint the Town is an event that utilizes city resources and tax dollars. However, open meeting laws have never been adhered to. And last but not least, we had $5,000 illegally withdrawn from a city account that holds tax dollars. This money was withdrawn from the bid account and handed over to Let's Paint the Town without authorization from the board that oversees those funds. A board, mind you, that is appointed by this council. And while they may try to spin this as a trivial thing, it is a prime example of the complete disregard for the law by the people in charge of this event. So with all that said, I truly hope the decision is made to support the farmers market, honor the agreement that is presented, as the farmers market has proven time and time again to provide a positive impact on our community through fair, ethical business practices and their ability to work together, because that's what our town needs right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.
Sylvia Gangenbach, 1010 Wilson Avenue, Menomonie. I am here in support of Let's Paint the Town. I am somewhat overwhelmed by some of the comments this evening. I am a downtown business person. I started Let's Paint the Town 6 years ago in order to support the downtown retailers. We were originally on Main Street, but when we were no longer able to use Main Street, we moved to the park. Let's Paint the Town, to the best of my knowledge, has followed all laws and all regulations. I am not aware that we have violated any of them. We very much support the farmers market as well, and we have tried over the last several years to work with the farmers market so that both they and we could make use of the park and benefit all of the vendors. Let's Paint the Town brings in about 5,000 to 6,000 people a year into the community. And while I can't speak to where my store is located now, when it was located at 244 Main Street, we got a lot of traffic from people who were in town for Let's Paint the Town. We have about 100 to 200 vendors each year who are local small business people who work very hard all year long in order to make product to sell at the Let's Paint the Town event in July. Let's Paint the Town is one of the few really family-friendly events that this community has. And if you have been there, it's an event where families come with their children. They sit often on blankets in the park, listen to local musicians perform in the band shell, and watch their children either playing on the bouncy houses or involved in events put on by the Dunn County Early Childhood Program. We donate our vendor fees each year to a nonprofit. Last year it was to the Bridge to Hope. We feel that we have tried at least, and I was not aware of the anger and the animosity towards Let's Paint the Town. We have met each year with the farmers market to try to work something out. It was my understanding, and perhaps I was wrong, but it was my understanding that there had been some concern the year that the farmers market was in the pavilion and we were sharing the park, that that did not work for them. So last year when we met with the people from the farmers market, we discussed the possibility of their moving off-site and talked about using the parking lot next to the Menomonie Market.
Sylvia,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you for your closing statement.
I am, okay. I would hope that we can continue with this event as we have in the past, and I sincerely hope we can continue to work with the Menomonie Farmers Market. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Hi, my name is Crystal Halverson, and I live at E8310 720th Avenue in Elkmound. I represent Menomonie Market Food Co-op at 814 East Main Street, Menomonie. I'm the GM of the co-op. I'm thrilled to see the city offer a 3-year agreement to the Menomonie Farmers Market. It rewards their growth, consistency, and commitment. This agreement says the market can operate as usual every market day from May to October. It says that the streets and parking that customers and vendors need and the streets that connect our 2 locations stay open. I love that, as the co-op sees steep sales declines and parking lot problems on days when those streets have been closed. And this agreement supports not just the farmers market, but the 90 vendors that make a livelihood from it. The co-op has supported Menomonie Market for decades. We housed the market in our parking lot sometime between 2007 and 2010. We managed the farmers market from 2013 to 15, the first time it was at Wilson Park. In 2014, it was the co-op that applied for a WEDC grant. The $500,000 grant provided capital for the co-op to build its current building. And in return, the co-op gave up TIF funding, property tax relief, so that the city could divert that tax revenue to the construction of a permanent home for the farmers market. This grant was won specifically to bring a permanent home to the co-op and the farmers market. And so this agreement finally codifies the original intent and deliverable of our great big WEDC award. So it took me some digging, but I found my folder from applying for that grant. And I have some materials if you're interested in having them. I'm not going to stay, but I can leave them with the group. But this is a letter from the city of Menomonie to me. And it says, the city of Menomonie is in full support of your proposed expansion of the Menomonie Market Food Co-op in downtown and to create a downtown farmers market plaza. The Menomonie Market Co-op and Menomonie Farmers Market Plaza is a cornerstone project for the community. This is our letter of intent from the Wisconsin Economic Development Corp. It specifically says the use of grant money is eligible costs for Menomonie Market Food Co-op and Farmers Market project. It says the city's deliverables include upgrades to sidewalks and gutters and development of a plaza to host an expanded farmers market. I have my development agreement, which basically lists the same deliverables from the city, what they're going to do, and it mentions specifically the farmers market. And then here is a graphic from the application to the WEDC, and you can see it says proposed farmers market on it. The proposal was not to expand the park. It was not to improve the city roads. It was not even to build a pavilion. It was to create a permanent home for the farmers market. So I appreciate that we're finally going to make it official. Winning the grant put an end to a farmer's market that was constantly moving around. I've been in my job for 22 years, and I remember it on the Stout Quad. Then it was in our parking lot on 2nd Street. Then it went into the street on 6th Street in front of Bremer Bank. Then it was on top of the Veterans Memorial. Then it went to Wilson Park. Then it went to the rec park, and then it went back to Wilson Park in its permanent home.
Crystal, could I get you to make your final?
All done. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Ronald Knudsen from 6700 US Highway 53 in Eau Claire. I joined the Menomonie Farmers Market the year that the pavilion opened. And it's a great market. It really is. The biggest thing that we got out of it when we joined was that the customer support, how the customers, how the Menomonie folks, how the community comes in support of that farmers market. We sell apples when season is there. Year round, we're selling jams, jellies, ciders, apple sauces, apple butters. We're now into baked goods, freeze-dried stuff. So we bring a whole variety of product to the Menomonie Farmers Market. Last year, when we moved over out of the pavilion for that day, we lost over 50% of our sales that day. So it was a significant loss to us. Hard for a small business to try and make that up in expenses. So I definitely support the resolution 2026-04 and the associated special events request. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronald.
Good evening, Tammy Simon. My business address is 1125 Broadway. I'm here tonight in my role as Director of Tourism for the Menomonie Area Chamber and Visitor Center to encourage your support for the proposed Farmers Market Agreement. Each week, the Farmers Market activates public space in a meaningful way. It creates downtown energy, supports local entrepreneurs, and brings residents and visitors together, offering a free and family-friendly place to gather. When we create consistent, well-organized opportunities for people to gather, we strengthen our sense of place. That sense of place drives foot traffic, supports surrounding businesses, and reinforces Menomonie as a vibrant and welcoming community. To illustrate the impact of the farmers market, I am going to share some attendance data from the past 3 seasons. This data was gathered using Placer AI and covers only Wednesdays and Fridays in the farmers market pavilion specifically. And a small number of attendees was removed for the 3rd weekend in July of 2025 as the market was unable to use their location during that date. In 2023, the market welcomed approximately 19,900 visitors over the course of the season. In 2024, attendance grew to approximately 22,800 attendees. And in 2025, they saw approximately 21,400 visitors. These numbers reflect consistency and community engagement and demonstrate that the market is a proven draw for our city. With that agreement in place, there's opportunity to build on that momentum through stronger promotion and expanded partnerships. There is also a meaningful opportunity for alignment. As many of you already know, I'm the event coordinator for Murals in Menomonie taking place this June. We have met with the Farmers Market Board and honestly have seen nothing but positive support and willingness to collaborate while planning for the event with them. Both events are intentionally designed to draw visitors, invite exploration through downtown, and highlight the creativity and talent within our community. When we coordinate promotion and scheduling, the impact of each initiative grows stronger. Visitors who come to watch artists create murals can naturally flow into the farmers market, while market attendees are encouraged to explore the mural sites and participate in the broader celebration happening throughout town. When events support one another, the whole community benefits. We increase visibility for Menomonie, we encourage longer stays, and we generate economic activity that reaches beyond a single event. Supporting this agreement signals that we value activation of public space. It signals that you value local entrepreneurship and collaborative community development. Thank you for your consideration and your continued commitment to our community.
Thank you, Tammy.
Hi, my name is Amy. I live on 1020 16th Avenue East, Menomonie. I'm speaking, Amy Lord. I'm speaking regarding the agenda item 5E. I have been a vendor at the Menomonie's Farmers Market for about 20 years with my family. Each year or each season when we sell, like every day, we usually sell pretty much most of all our produce. And with Let's Paint the Town, during that day itself, we pretty much go home with pretty much everything. A lot of vendors, they get to just explore the event because it's just so slow and there's no sales coming around. And I know the community, they really love us a lot. They're always looking for us, and especially on that day, they're always struggling to find us vendors where they're asking where is the farmers market located, and we would have to pretty much direct them, oh, we're this way, over here. And I respectfully request approval of the resolution of the 2026-04 and the associated special event requests. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Hi, my name is Jamie Schlosser. I am at E4815 745th Avenue. I'm in Menomonie. I'm speaking regarding Agenda 5E as well. I've had the opportunity to be a vendor at both the Farmers Market and Let's Paint the Town. Is that me? Oh, okay. I really enjoyed the Let's Paint the Town event, and I think it's important for our community. However, I think the way that they're going about trying to take over the pavilion is maybe not quite right. Our business thrived at both events almost equally, and I think that's a huge testament to our farmers market and how many people they draw. I was surprised myself to see that my takeaway from that day was fairly comparable. I really enjoyed the opportunity to choose which event that I wanted to go to. However, the majority of the vendors from the farmers market don't have that choice. The farmers market is their storefront. The income generated from the consistency of location is vital for them. And so much so that their spots under the pavilion are fairly consistent even from week to week and from year to year. It's my understanding, and what people have said before me, that the pavilion was built for the farmers market and even bears the name Farmers Market Pavilion on the structure itself. If we allow one event to thwart the home of the farmers market, even if it's just for one day of the year, what is to stop the next event coming along wanting the same special treatment? It's for this reason that I would ask you to approve Resolution 2026-04 and the associated special event requests. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jamie.
Hi, I'm Casey Sutliff. I live at N10760 350th Street in Boyceville. I'm here on item 5E as well. I am the Menomonie Farmers Market Treasurer. I'd like to thank David Schofield for all his work and cooperation in preparing proposed resolution 2026-04. Menomonie Farmers Market has operated for 25 seasons, the last 10 years in Wilson Park. We appreciate the stability and understanding this agreement provides to keep the farmers market in the pavilion on Wednesdays and Saturdays. With 80+ unique vendors throughout the summer season, free weekly music, phenomenal hot food choices, the market is more than just an opportunity to source nutrient-dense local foods. It's a gathering place for friends and neighbors, a hub of activity in the city, a weekly tradition for many families, and a frequent destination for visitors of the city. I cannot tell you the number of visitors, stout parents, and other people that stop at the farmers market on a Saturday morning and visit and ask, what else did we do downtown while we're here? Cooperation is the backbone of the farmers market. We are happy to work with vendors, artists, business, local nonprofits, and other community groups to continually expand the service and opportunities for our customers. We know through open and honest communication, these partnerships benefit all involved and bring added benefits to the patrons, market vendors, and cooperating organizations. Whether it's something as small as a complimentary space for Dunn County 4-H to offer kids programming, or something as large scale as murals in Menomonie sharing Wilson Park for multiple days, these partnerships are deeply valued for the way they serve the community as a whole. I'm also happy to answer any questions you may have about Agenda Item 5E and appreciate your support for this resolution and special event packages as written. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Casey. Okay, public comment is still open. If anybody else would like to speak on agenda items for the evening. Last call for public comment. Okay, we'll close the public comment portion of our meeting and move on from there. That brings us down to 4A, which is old business. Consider appointment of replacement of Ward 9 alderperson for the remainder of the present term of office to April 2027. Discussion and possible action. It's kind of an interesting situation because we have two individuals this evening. That being said, we would want to express both those individuals being here. And thank you for both of you, Pat and Chad. Well, that's great. Do you want to elaborate on this, Ben? I'm going to have Ben, our city attorney, elaborate on this real quick.
Yeah, so this matter was previously on before the council. Council chose to do advertisement for this, put it out in the paper. It was on our social media as well. We received the two applicants for it, Chad and Patrick. Before the council tonight, we would look for, if the council wants to appoint one of the two individuals, a motion to appoint them. After a second in discussion, it would be a simple majority vote. The individual who's chosen, if any on that, would serve for the remainder of the term, which would go to next year, and then it would be back on the ballot for a new person to be chosen.
Okay, good. Thank you, Ben. Lee?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion appointing Chad Slew as the replacement Ward number 9 alderperson for the remainder of the present term until April 2027.
Okay, they have a motion on the floor. Is there a second to that motion? Mary?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor. Brings us into discussion, and then we'll, if you agree with it, you can vote it up. If you don't agree with it, you can vote it down, and then a subsequent motion can be made at that time. That being said, Mary?
I just want to say we have two really good candidates here. I served with Pat years ago, and also with Chad not so many years ago. So there's not a wrong decision in this, and I wish we could take them both, but obviously we can't. So I thank them for their desire to serve again.
Very good. Anything else from anyone? Gretchen?
Well, I've only served with Chad and not with Patrick. And I am going to vote no for Chad and would like to work with Patrick for this remainder time, allowing for the two potentially to run against each other again. But I wanted to say publicly that it is not because of my time with you, Chad. So make that clear that I just had other reasons to wish for Patrick to be in that seat for the time being.
Okay, discussion is still open. If anybody else, Matthew?
Yeah, can we waive the rules and let the two candidates speak a little bit?
Sure, if you want to make a motion for that, we can do that.
can I make a motion to waive the rules and let the two applicants speak?
Sure. Rylan?
I would second the motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And who would you like to bring up to the podium first? Matthew, since you made the motion?
I can bring up Chad first, please.
Okay, Chad, if you come on up to the podium, please. Turn your microphone on.
I'm serious. I don't think that's fair. If you ask me how I feel about the data center, that's not a fair question.
Wasn't going to ask about that. I was just
I'm
like
just,
giving.
it seems like that's what only chatter is about. If you're for or opposed to data center.
I was just going to let both of you speak on why you are wanting to run and or why you want to be appointed and the qualifications.
Well, I think I wrote down everything in my letter, and I don't know. I enjoyed it while I was here. I don't think it was as contentious as it is now. I don't know if it would be as fun as it was then. There's a lot of stuff going on out there that I don't like. But I did enjoy it when I was here, and I'd like to continue to serve. And if I get back on the seat, I'll run again. If I don't get back on, I probably won't. But that's just, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed the people. So
I got a couple questions, Chad. So Chad, I know that you've done a great job serving on the city council. And I know you come prepared, you know, you read your packet and you're ready to go on the nights of the meetings. With your current job, I mean, I know that you've got your hands full. Is that going to still allow you enough time to be prepared and be able to be at a city council meeting?
absolutely.
Okay.
And then when if something comes up in a meeting where it's part of my job and we have to work with the cities to do it, I'll just abstain.
Okay. The other question I have too is, I know that you primarily now you're in Menomonie every day, correct? You're not traveling? You're not
I've
traveling?
been working down in Stout full time.
Okay, so you're here basically every day. So a Monday night city council meeting is not a problem for you then?
No.
Okay. I'm going to open up the floor for other questions. If there's other questions, the floor is yours, city council. No, nothing? Okay, thank you, Chad, and appreciate that. Pat, you want to come up to the microphone? And I guess the floor is yours or it is the council's if they want to ask questions. I have a question. So are you traveling these days far and wide, or are you pretty much home Monday evenings, or what's your schedule?
I drive a lot. I'm normally home by 5 o'clock in the afternoon every day. As far as being able to make city council meetings and those types of things, I think if there is a way to go back and look at the 16 years that I served on the council, if I had a handful of misses over 16 years, I'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Any questions for Pat? You know, I know that you're a Menomonie resident a long time too. I think both you and Chad both are long-term Menomonie residents, and we appreciate that fact about the both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any specific interest that you carry that more so than anything else of why you'd want to serve on the city council?
Well, I think having been a resident of Menomonie since 1979, having been a business owner for 13 years, managed 3 businesses prior to owning my own place, the downtown area, driving through it, walking through it, the number of empty buildings we have, it kind of hurts me to think back when I was on the Main Street Board of Directors and on the city council and things that we did to try to keep those storefronts open, keep the downtown vibrant. I would like to take the experience that I have, the energy that I think I can bring to the council, perhaps some contacts that I have to help revitalize the downtown area. I'm also a supporter of looking at the safety of our community. Having been a Stout student, and I just mentioned I do a lot of driving, I'm amazed at how many times I see near misses of students and residents from being hit by vehicles at certain parts of our town, and wonder, can't we improve some things from a safety standpoint that way? I think I can bring a lot to the city council from experience and energy to revitalize not only the downtown and in the city of Menomonie, but work with the council to do some really great things.
I guess the only question I would have is, the seat was open prior. Why didn't you run in the prior election? I guess I'm curious.
Well, after the 16 years, I took a little bit of break. I've been growing a business with friends that I've known now for about 13 years throughout the area in the United States for that matter. So it's taking a bunch of my time, my energy, and my resources. You notice I do some things with the Bridge to Hope. In fact, I had a Zoom meeting with them at 6 o'clock prior to this meeting to prepare for the Designer Purse Bingo that I helped fundraise for the past 3 years and really enjoy spending my time in doing those things. So seeing the opening available, seeing what I'm seeing downtown, seeing things that seem to be moving people apart rather than bringing people together kind of concerned me. So I thought maybe now's a good time for me to reevaluate what my priorities are and those of the city and how can I help bring things together.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other questions for Mr. Brogan? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Thank you both. All right. Any other discussion pieces from council? Otherwise, we'll do a roll call vote. Can you reread the motion, please?
Current motion is to appoint Chad Schlew to the replacement of the Ward 9 alderperson for the remainder of term until until April of 2027.
Okay, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Yanko,
No.
Pickard,
No.
Schwebs,
Yes.
Gentz,
No.
Solberg,
Yes.
Erdman,
No.
Sommerfeld,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
Crow.
No. With that, I'd like to make a motion to appoint,
Oh, hold on.
5 and 5.
It's a 5-5 tie.
Mhm.
Hold on for clarity. Excuse me, I'm looking for clarity. Sorry, I need to get clarity. We have a 5-5 tie. I'm going to break the tie. Since Chad was the most current serving person on this council, I would break the tie and in favor of Chad Schlew being our next council representative. That being said, we're moving on to the next piece of business, which is 5A, Economic Development, presentation by Adam Akola, Director of Economic Development. Adam.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, and city staff for your time tonight. I have some prepared remarks, but if there's anything along the way that you have questions about, feel free to interrupt me, and I'm happy to field some questions. So I want to begin by simply acknowledging the weight of the last 7 months. Our community has been navigating a complex and high-profile proposal that has asked a lot of you as leaders and as staff. Economic development is and will always be a delicate balance between the community's vision, its elected leadership, and private investment. It's up to the council to make the final decisions on the investments that want to call Menomonie home, but it's up to the community to decide if that is the type of investment that they want. Navigating that balance is difficult work, and I want to thank you all for your service through this period and acknowledge that the work you do is vital to the future of Dunn County. While major projects grab the headlines, the quiet daily work of my office is focused on business retention and expansion. My goal is to demystify government for our local business owners. Too often, there's a perceived wall between private industry and public process. I'm continually meeting with new and existing businesses to break down that wall, ensuring that they're talking to the correct people at the right time. By working closely with city and county staff, we are expeditiously connecting businesses to the resources, rules, and regulations they need before they get frustrated. When we reduce that friction, their investments in our community translate faster into benefits for the citizens of Menomonie. To support those businesses, we are working to maximize the federal tools we secured last year. As you may know, we successfully petitioned to designate Dunn County as a hub zone or a historically underutilized business zone last fall. That means historically underutilized in terms of our uptake of federal contracts, the number of businesses in our county that actually go for and secure contracts with the federal government. This designation is a powerful asset, offering a 3% set aside on federal contracts and a 10% price evaluation preference. So that means 3% of the federal dollars are set aside for counties that are designated specifically as hub zones. And our businesses get a 10% price preferential. If they quote a contract for $1 million, the federal government looks at a Dunn County business and says they're quoting it at $900,000, making them more competitive against larger businesses in industry. The designation was just step one, though. Step two is utilization. We're now coordinating with the technical assistance brought to us by the Wisconsin Procurement Institute, which will help our Dunn County-based businesses actually win these contracts. We have the advantage. Now we need to teach our businesses how to use it. On the state level, we continue to see success with the Dunn County Small Business Development Grant. Last year, we received a grant of $250,000 from the state and successfully deployed over $114,000 of that in round one into the Dunn County ecosystem. This impacted 27 businesses, 14 right here in Menomonie, and some of which are actually sitting in the audience tonight. So I was really happy to see that. It allowed them to upgrade their operations, pivot, diversify, and expand from service providers to manufacturers. We currently have $135,000 left over that is remaining to be dispersed in March and September of this year. I want to highlight a specific opportunity here. This is the best time in recent history to start a business in Dunn County. While existing businesses are eligible, new businesses, those that are less than 2 years in operation, have access to a dedicated pool of funds that is often less competitive. If you know an entrepreneur that's sitting on the fence, have them call me. We have the capital to help them get started here. Capital is critical, but it must be directed towards our most pressing needs. Historically, the Greater Menomonie Development Corporation, or GMDC, has focused on financing large industrial projects and speculative buildings. That model worked well for years, bringing businesses like the Big Dot of Happiness, Ellsworth Creamery, and Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing. However, with industrial prices rising for construction, we asked ourselves if we wanted to invest our dollars into 1 or 2 large projects, or if we should pivot to solve some of the structural problems our workforce faces. In January, we finalized the GMDC Housing and Childcare Revolving Loan Fund. This is a targeted financial tool designed to fill the gap in a capital stack for housing and childcare projects. Here's how it works. We target funding gaps of $10,000 to $50,000. These are often that last mile dollar to make projects viable. To ensure innovative solutions have access to this tool, it is available for both for-profit and nonprofit entities. So if the city or the county government would decide to be involved as a developer of a housing project, they would be eligible for this revolving loan fund. To be clear, this is strictly for creating new housing stock, revitalizing Main Street residential units, or the construction and expansion of childcare centers. It is not for single-family home renovations or working capital. This fund acknowledges that we cannot have economic growth without places for workers to live and places for their children to be cared for. This fund was born out of necessity. As I mentioned in my written comments that I submitted to you all on Ordinance 2026-02, proactive rental inspections are a positive step for standards, but they do not solve the math problem. We simply do not have enough homes. This shortage stalls business attraction, it limits expansion, it blocks the entrepreneurs who would otherwise diversify our economy, and we cannot sustain our downtown if we don't have the population density to support it. To help address this, I've also been working with the 8-county region to finalize a rural outdoor recreation plan. This isn't just a map of trails, it's a business attraction tool. It catalogs our assets to help us win grants and to prove to prospective businesses that Menomonie offers the quality of life that their employees demand. I also continue to represent our interests on the Regional Planning Commission Executive Committee and as the chair of the Menomonie Chamber Advocacy Committee. But we need your help on the housing front. With the dissolution of the Ad Hoc Housing Committee, I invite the city to participate in the Dunn County Housing Work Group and the Health Done Right Housing Action Team. We have the federal status, we have the grant funding, and now we have a dedicated loan fund for housing and childcare. If we continue to collaborate on these structural challenges, we will empower our community to capture the opportunities ahead. Thank you. Any questions at all?
Any questions for Adam? Thank you, sir. Okay, that brings us down to 5B, Housing Authority of the City of Menomonie presentation by Rebecca Kolowski, Executive Director of the Housing Authority of the City of Menomonie. Rebecca, good evening.
Good evening. My little speech is brief. I'm here to present the pilot for you this year. I handed out to you some of our basic information like I do every year so that you're kind of aware of what's been taking place. We have not expanded our housing stock. HUD has had funding cutbacks, so we are just kind of going where we are. We are on the Fair Cloth Amendment, so we are at our number that we need to be at. We are not allowed to further our stock. However, our openings have been pretty moderate. We've had 25 openings this past year, and that's pretty much the same as we've had the prior year. So I think consistency has been going very well. On the next page, however, I would like to point out that the expenditures that we've incurred, you can see that locally we've put quite a few funds in this past year compared to other years. We are working to modernize our units because they were built quite some time ago. They are in good repair. That's not the issue. I think bringing them up to a more standard of what that modernization will look like. We did work this past year doing more on the electrical side with the GFIs and making sure that all homes were set up for that, where some of them were getting to be more challenged. I would also like to point out, if you look down at the bottom, you'll see where the public housing average incomes have been. And if you look at where our income is at in Dunn County versus the states around us, we are at a high income for our numbers. So I'm kind of proud to present that our area is providing quality jobs for that level of individual where we are not presenting less than what we have. And then you can read through any of the other information that you'd like. The other point that on our history, I've updated our history a little bit. We've been working with a skeleton crew of 4 people all these years that I've been at the Housing Authority, which some of you may or may not know. I've been there for 30 years now. Time to change, time to create some more individuals. So we are expanding our employees so that we can do more and work further on some of our capital needs. We are also working with our tenants to provide another outsource where in the past we've not been able to do that. So today I would like to present the pilot. However, unless you have any other questions for me, I've given you some statistics on the area incomes, where they've come from. I don't feel I need to really go through that unless you'd like me to. But I open any questions you may have for me before I present to you my pilot.
The only question I would have is, how many people do you serve in your housing?
People, I do not know the number, but we have 151 units.
Okay.
So I'm talking 4-bedroom houses to the 1-bedrooms at the Memorial Heights and Hosford Rich, 2-bedroom and then 3-bedroom obviously in the middle. But to say people, I can't answer that.
Okay, thank you. And you have a presentation for us as well?
No other questions? I will then, yes, I would like to present from the HUD project, the amount of $67,767.92 to the city, along with our rural development project, $3,900.
Okay, great. If you just come up forward, please. Accept this. Thank you, Rebecca, for being here and presenting tonight. Appreciate that. Okay, that takes us down to 5C. Proposed ordinance 2026-06, an ordinance repealing and recruiting Title 3, Chapter 23, Outdoor Food Stand Mobile Food Unit Vendor License. Discussion, possible introduction, possible waiver and first reading. That being said, oh, Chris. Oh, Chris would. Okay, Chris, it's all yours.
Hello. So we at the city clerk's office have been working very hard with our friends at the fire department to kind of revamp this license, make it a little bit more impactful for what it's trying to be, bringing our license required schedule back into line with what the fire department is looking to do for their inspection scheduling. They want to make sure that all of our food trucks and stuff are being inspected in the spring after they've been pulled out of winter storage, not before, just in case any damages occur during the winter storage period that may cause fiery incidences. Also, we wanted to include some much needed exceptions into the license for things like lemonade stands or Girl Scout cookies or that kind of thing, as well as bringing into line the fee. So that way our folks at the fire department who spend time inspecting these get a little bit of payment for their service, because we already have the police department getting a cut for our background checks. So the fire department should get a little something for their inspection as well. I'll be happy to take any questions on this if they come up.
I noticed, Chris, there's a few exemptions in there, like if a person's under 18, they want to have a lemonade stand, this doesn't apply to them, those type of things. Also, does this include a one-day permit if a food stand has a one-day scenario?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. We also wanted to include a temporary permit for food trucks and the like that come from outside of the city, have no intention to operate here a long time, but want to show up for like a singular day event or for like a week-long event or something like that. So included is a temporary 7-day license at a reduced fee, just to make that nice and easy for folks who want to come over here.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Rylan?
Let's say somebody has a food truck in Eau Claire that they spend equal amount of time. Are they being required to get basically identical inspections in Eau Claire and in Menomonie? Or do we have any kind of, I'm not sure what the
Crossover?
Yeah, do we have any kind of, do we honor the inspections from other municipalities if they're similar or comparable, or any way to judge that?
Yes, we do. Currently, we accept inspections from neighboring counties, both their food services folks, our health departments, and the fire departments.
Okay, that's good. Gretchen?
Is this going to be a web form on the website, or how will they acquire the permits? Do they have to come in person?
Yes, this will be a fillable form available on our website. We accept email applications, of course, as well as you can use our online payment service to take care of the fees as well. So you actually don't have to step in our office to get this license.
Great. And the fees for these licenses, have they been adjusted? Or are they pretty standardized?
Yes, they have been adjusted just a little bit. The annual license fee has been brought up, I believe, by $10 from $55 to $65 to better cover costs, as well as the additional $10 fee for the police background check, and then another additional $10 fee for the fire department inspection. So a annual license, grand total all in all, will be $85. Temporary license will be a flat fee of $10 with the additional background check and the fire department inspection fees, so $30.
And on a regular basis, how long does it take to get licensed after they apply?
Usually licenses are issued within a week or two. It doesn't take too long once we receive them to get them out the door.
Good, thank you. Any other questions for Chris? Otherwise, if anybody would like to introduce this, we can move this forward. Abigail?
I would like to introduce proposed ordinance 2026-06, an ordinance repealing and recreating Title 3, Chapter 23, Outdoor Food Stand / Mobile Food Unit Vendor License.
Thank you for the introduction. Would you like, anybody want to make a motion to waive the first reading? Abigail?
I make a motion to waive the first reading of proposed ordinance 2026-06, an ordinance repealing and recreating Title 3, Chapter 23, Outdoor Food Stand / Mobile Food Unit Vendor License.
Okay, and I think I know what you're talking about. I think if you just, no, you said perfect. You just perfect. I'm just saying that you don't need to read it again. So motion to waive the first reading. Is there a second to to that motion, Jeff Luther?
I'll second Abigail's motion.
Okay, motion been made to waive the first reading. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And now if anybody'd like to make a motion to waive the second reading and do that at this time. Mary,
I'd make a motion to waive the second reading of the proposed ordinance 2026-06.
thank you. Rylan?
I'll second Mary's motion.
Motion been made and seconded to waive the second reading. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now, Abigail, would you like to make a motion to adopt?
I would love that.
Okay,
I make a motion to adopt proposed ordinance 2026-06, an ordinance repealing and recreating Title III, Chapter 3, outdoor food stand / mobile food unit vendor license.
you got it right. Perfect. Good job. Is there a second to Abigail's motion? Jeff?
I'll second Abigail's motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any additional comments? Roll call vote, please.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sommerfeld,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Yanko,
Yes.
Pickard,
Yes.
Schwebs,
Yes.
Gentz,
Yes.
Solberg.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That brings us down to 5D. Proposed 2026-28 MS4 permitted municipal agreement for stormwater education and outreach coordination by Rain Two Rivers of Western Wisconsin Incorporated. Megan Hines, you're here, I believe. If you'd come forward and take the podium, and we're going to time you.
Good evening, Council. In your packet is a 3-year agreement with West Central Regional Planning Commission to coordinate and have us be a member of Rain to Rivers, which is a stormwater consortium of MS4 permitted communities across Western Wisconsin. We meet monthly to help satisfy parts of our MS4 permit requirements from the DNR, particularly the education and outreach. Member communities pay in $2,000 a year, and then we pool that money together to be able to do educational events, trainings, and outreach that we wouldn't probably do normally. So we've done like ballpark signage. We've did at the end of January at the Chippewa Steel Hockey, did a game night where we sponsored that and had messages about safe salting. And then we've done things as big as like WPR ads and things of that nature. So this agreement has served the city well. We've been a member for over 20 years now at this point. So this is just an agreement to commit to continue our membership and being active in. I'm the secretary of the group, and then paying the $2,000 a year for the next 3 years. So with that, I would take any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Megan? Otherwise, if anybody want to make a motion to support this, you can do so at this time. Gretchen,
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 to 2028 MS4 permitted municipal agreement for stormwater education and outreach coordination by Rain to Rivers of Western Wisconsin, Inc.
thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Ryland.
I would second Gretchen's motion.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Yanko,
Yes.
Pickard,
Yes.
Schwebs,
Yes.
Gentz,
Yes.
Solberg,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sommerfeld,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
Crow.
Yes.
Thank you. That takes us down to 5E, proposed resolution 2026-04 regarding 2026-2028 farmers market. Incorporated special event request for the events to be held May 1st, 2026 to October 31st, 2026, May 1st, 2027 to October 31st, 2027, and May 1st, 2028 to October 31st, 2028 in Wilson Park on 7th Street East and on Wilson Avenue. There can be some modifications if anybody wants to make any modifications in this. Otherwise, it can stand as it is. We can do a 1-year, 2-year, or a 3-year. It is set up for a 3-year at this time. Other than that, David Schofield.
Yeah, so this is in the packet, there are all 3 of the special event requests, 2026, 2027, and 2028. Last year, I believe it was resolution 2025-01. The council approved the 2025 special event permit for the farmers market. There was a couple of provisions in there that pertain to the Let's Paint the Town event. In what's before you today, we've replaced those with a provision here. Number 7, City of Menomonie reserves the right to allow reservations of the band shell and small shelter during the farmers market on 2 occasions per year. City of Menomonie will notify Menomonie Farmers Market Inc. no later than May 1 of each year. So the entire park is not reserved for the farmers market. We're reserving the right on 2 occasions a year to allow events like Let's Paint the Town to use 3/4 of the park. The furthest east end of the park, where the pavilion is, that would be used by the farmers market. The remainder of the park, and shell and the small shelter, which that's where the egg rolls and banh mi used to be. That's the small shelter that we're talking about here. We could reserve that for up to 2 times each year. So we could use those for other things. They've also, over the years, started to use Wilson Avenue and 8th Street, 7th Street East for some food vendors. The Hers to Go has been parking on Wilson Avenue, for instance, on the south side of Wilson Avenue. So this agreement codifies that use. And then the last bit is on 8th Street East will remain open to traffic. So one of the major issues in the past, in 2024, there was some closures of Wilson Avenue at 8th, and so it caused some traffic issues during the farmers market that Saturday. They would like to see 8th Street remain open from Main Street East to 9th Avenue East. So those are the provisions that have been written into this. This is obviously a resolution that you folks need to be comfortable with. So if there are changes that you wanted to make, you could certainly make those. This doesn't have to be approved tonight. If you'd like to direct us to make some changes and we can bring it back to the next meeting, we could certainly do that. So it's up to this body.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Schofield. Council, the floor is yours. Gretchen?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution 2026-04 regarding the 2026 to 2028 Menomonie Farmers Market Inc. special events requests.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Lee?
Second the motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? Oh, okay, Rylan?
Yeah, I think this is a good idea because, like has been pointed out, that pavilion was built with the intent of it being used by the farmers market, similar to how the band shell is there with the intent of the London Guard Band playing there. Doesn't mean that it's exclusive to band shell concerts, but it does seem appropriate to give priority to the organization that it was built with the intent on using. Just like it'd be, I'm sure it'd be odd for the London Guard Band to be kicked out on a Tuesday night for another event. So I am glad to see this before us.
Okay, any other discussion? Otherwise, we can go for a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on with our next piece of business, it would be the F, special event request from Menomonie Baseball Association for baseball tournaments to be held May 29th to 31st, June 5th to the 7th, June 11th to the 14th, June 26th, 28th, and July 24th to 26th, 2026 in Wakanda Park and the Game Park Road. That being said, the baseball fields are in prime condition, and softball fields as well. We're going to have a great season this year. There's been a lot of work being done to those ball fields, and we want them to be used every weekend as much as possible. So totally support the Menomonie Baseball Association and their tournaments. And Mr. Schofield.
Yeah, I just did want to add one thing. So last year, because of the Pine Avenue construction, there were a couple of weekends that we could not close Game Park Road, right between Diamonds 4, 5, and 6. Obviously, Pine Avenue is complete now, so we will be able to close that right near the kind of the nexus of all those fields.
Yep. There was been the Menomonie Baseball Association has put quite a lot of effort into helping us maintain dugouts and fences and all of that. And so it's been a lot of effort in the last 10 years to bring our ball fields back to a specific degree of need. So anyways, with that being said, if anybody wants to support this with a motion, you can do so. Jeff Luther.
Yeah, I'll approve. I make a motion to approve the Menomonie Baseball Association's special event request for baseball tournaments in the year 2026 for the dates posted in the thing here and contingent upon receipt and proof of insurance.
Okay, that's a good motion. Is there a second to that motion? Yes, go ahead, Eric.
I'll second the motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving on to G, special events request for Menomonie Junior Mustangs for a softball tournament to be held June 19th to the 21st, 2026 in Wakanda Park and on Game Park Road. Again, the high school, the baseball and softball teams get out there and play, and they're amazing. It's good to see kids out doing the sports. I totally support this, and if anybody'd like to support it with a motion, you can do so at this time. Mary.
I'd make a motion to approve the Menomonie Junior Mustang special event request for a softball tournament on June 19th through the 21st, 2026 in Wakanda Park and on Game Park Road as presented.
Very good. Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Eric.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Go ahead, Eric.
David, did they submit their insurance?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good job. Thank you. Motion's on the floor. Mary with a motion, Eric with a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving on to H, review of uncontrollable intersections. This has gotten quite a bit of conversation within the mayor's office. That being said, Mr. Schofield, do you want to bring us up to speed, please?
Yeah, I'm going to pass this on to Megan. I did want to share a map that she very helpfully put together. On the screen and in your packet is a map showing the intersections that are uncontrolled. There are a number of intersections that are uncontrolled that are relatively low volume, don't have any crashes. There are also intersections that are either high volume or have crashes. So the memo that Megan put together, I think really skillfully compares those two and then gives you folks an idea on what that cost might be to start addressing one or both.
Thank you. So city staff received some inquiries from alderpersons about resident concerns of safety at some of the uncontrolled intersections in the city. And to evaluate that, we really wanted to do a kind of a citywide evaluation. To create this map, I took a tour of the city from my desk via Google Maps. It's a really scintillating time to visit all 547 intersections via your computer. So in addition to this map, then created a spreadsheet of each intersection, not only if it's controlled or uncontrolled, but if it is controlled, what is the control? Whether that's a yield sign, a stop sign, and which street that was on. So we have kind of a comprehensive spreadsheet to kind of work forward with, in addition to the GIS map that these maps that are in your packet is created from. So then once we identified the intersections, so we said we have 547 intersections as of right now in the city, and of those 160 are uncontrolled. So uncontrolled means there are no stop signs, yield signs, traffic signals. There's nothing going on these intersections for that. So then using some Wisconsin DOT tools, we kind of tried to prioritize because 160 seems like a lot of intersections to sign. So wanted to prioritize if we were going to do some, what would that look like and what would the data be behind that to make those decisions. So using the DOT's functional classification map that refers to the volume of streets. So there are local roads, there are arterials and collectors. So we looked at any uncontrolled intersection that was anything higher than a local road. So those are in the map. The second map that is in your packet, and those are in kind of the orange color. There are 3 intersections that were just on high volume roads. And then we looked at DOT's community maps tool, and the documents crashes of all severities, and did that from January 1st, 2020 to the present, and documented whether or not an intersection had a crash there. Those are the green dots on this map. And there were 3 intersections that overlapped both of them, that were higher volume and had at least 1 crash since January of 2020. So then we kind of have 3 options. We can, option 1 would be to do nothing, to not sign any additional intersections for that. And then option 2 would be to install stop or yield signs at the 41 uncontrolled intersections that either have higher volume or have crashes since 2020. So worked with our sign technician in the street department to come up with what costs estimates would be to do that. So in that option, you'd be just under $16,000 if you signed all of those intersections with 2 signs. So you'd have one of the streets would be controlled and the other would be a through street. Then the third option would be if we wanted to sign all 160 of our uncontrolled intersections. That cost brings you just under $62,000. We're not looking for action at this time, though we would like some potential direction as we start to build our capital improvement budgets and going through the operational budgets for the coming years on what that direction is and what staff might need to budget for that. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer, or David as well.
Yeah, if I could just add, so you can't just throw up a stop sign in order for it to be enforceable by the police department. You have to update the city code and also to add that as a non-through street. My fear is that we start adding single intersections and go and revise that code section multiple times. For instance, on 14th Avenue and 8th Street, we've had a couple of requests for that one intersection. Well, if we added on that one, then why don't we add it at 14th and 6th? If we added at that one, why don't we add it at 13th and 12th? We get into kind of a game where we're just kind of chasing our tail. So in my mind, it's worth looking at a justification, which I think is this option 2, that, these are higher volume roads or roads with intersections with crashes. And looking at doing that option in a future year. It's worth noting that our entire sign budget, this includes every knockdown, we've had folks requesting that we put up new signs for bike lanes and bike routes and that sort of thing. Our entire budget for all signs is $17,000. So this would wipe us out for the year if we were to do something like this, and we wouldn't be able to replace knockdowns and that sort of a thing. So I guess I would prefer not to tackle option 2 in 2026, but it's certainly up to this body if this is something that you wanted to at a future meeting, not tonight, because we don't have action on the agenda. You could certainly look at using some contingency funds if you want to do something like that.
Gretchen?
First of all, thank you for doing all that work, because I know what it's like to plot GIS points. These are reported crashes.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so part of the anecdotal from folks was that, things were occurring outside their house routinely, but they were accidents or near misses that weren't reported as a crash, or, students that don't have insurance or who knows why. But I also assume that we would have a logical, I'm wondering if like a working group to just review each intersection or each intersection in our wards, or if there was a way for us to use logic to, like, for example, one of the high volume, high crash areas is in the middle of 13th Street Hill, which is very steep. I wouldn't want a stop sign on 13th Street on that hill. There's already a stop sign on 9th. So, that's one of the 3 light yellow dots. So that wouldn't be logical to place a stop sign right there.
Actually, there is not a stop sign on 9th.
There isn't?
There is not. That is one of the ones that is
magical. Okay.
So yes, you can come down that 9th Street Hill and slide right through. Yep.
Well, okay. Never mind about that one. I've been imagining a stop sign the whole time. So, but ways to look at, each intersection before and make a mass request maybe for this.
I guess what I would suggest is if alderpersons are willing to take a look at this map, at a later date and make suggestions of the ones that are in their ward, we'd certainly look at trying to compare those.
Oops, anything else, Megan? Thank you for the information you're bringing forward this evening, and appreciate your hard work. Thank you.
I got something. We need to have better control of our controlled intersections. It's like, I don't, our four-way stops in Menomonie, if somebody's pulling up to that four-way stop and there's not a car in one of the other 3 roads, hey, slow down and go. I see it all the time up there on Wilson and Cedar Falls Road. They come up Wilson Street and they're turning towards Marketplace, and I'm coming down Cedar Falls Road, going to work, and it's like this car just kind of around the corner. So I don't know if we need, cameras put on our four-way stops, maybe. I also witnessed somebody blow the red light by, on the way here by the library, coming down Broadway. Probably couldn't stop in time because he was doing 50 miles an hour.
And I know that sometimes the police officers are looking at those intersections a little bit more in certain cases, specifically certain times of the day. It seems like in the mornings, probably, or is a specific time of the day that, in certain areas especially. So if you've got a problem area that you notice that, by all means, those would be good spots to put an officer at. So moving on to the next piece of business then would be consider mayoral appointment of Randy Idy to Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee. He was a public works director and quite the biker. I know that he also took a special interest in the radar speed detector on 5th Street, and I think he's tested it out a little bit. I don't know if you get a speeding ticket on a bike, right? Yes, you can. Okay, well, good job, Randy, for staying under the speed limit. But anyways, that would be my recommendation for the Bike Ped Committee. If anybody would like to support that with a motion, you can do so at this time. Yes, Mary?
I would like to make a motion to appoint Randy Idy to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee.
Thank you. Rylan?
I would like to second Mary's motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving on to budget transfers. Last I knew, we didn't have any. Nope. Mayor's report. The only thing I can report on is I went to the Dunn County Fish and Game ice fishing contest on Saturday, and it was packed. And the board was full of fish. They had I think it was a 15-pound northern, right? It was the big one that won it. A lot of fish were caught on Saturday. And then we also had the community invite for skating at Wolski's Bay. That was another good event. And thank you for everybody putting that on. Zariah, thank you for your extra help with that. Communications, Eric?
I don't have anything.
Okay, Scott?
Chris?
Or Chris, I'm here. Sorry.
There's a primary election coming up tomorrow, so go out and exercise your right to vote. We put a lot of work into it.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. Lee? Happy to go?
Yeah, real quick. Yesterday afternoon, I attended the data center download event, which I know a couple other council members and some city staff attended as well. It was very informative, and I think the organizers did a fantastic job. One big takeaway that I had that I'd like to share is how everyone left the gathering feeling heard, accomplished, and more involved in our community. Moving forward, I do hope that there are more opportunities for us as representatives to collectively and directly meet with the people we represent in a city-sponsored environment. Open comments of 3 minutes and online public comments are a great starting point, but having more opportunities to have a free and open discussion with city residents would help us ensure that we are representing them how they want to be represented. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, good. Go ahead, Gretchen. Eric? Matthew?
Yeah, the Cocoa Crawl event that the downtown Menomonie put on was a success. Saw a lot of people downtown. Had good weather for it, and so Wolski Bay was a little slushy, but it was good to be out there with the family and skating on Wolski Bay and pushing the kids around on the sled, and so all around great events.
And I saw that you had skates on your feet too. You glide across that ice pretty well for an ice skater. Jeff?
Yeah, I've seen, starting to see some negative campaign things on social media and stories from other people. And, I just hope that after this primary is over and we get towards April, that people just, let's look at the positive things that the candidates want to do. Let's not, make up stuff that, well, this guy did this and he's doing that, let's keep this election honest. And, I wish there was something that they could do to social media to keep negative campaign off that media. So that's all I got to say. Good luck to both of you, all three of you.
Okay, thank you. David? Soraya? No? Randy? Rylan? Mary?
Nope.
Cody?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to echo what Abigail said. The data center event was really well put together, very productive. And also, I have heard a lot of feedback about the online portal being, good for data collection. I think there are a lot of people who would like to see more opportunities to speak with us directly about their concerns and about the I-4 ordinance. So, I might be looking at, putting something together. But I would just encourage folks to consider, maybe we could do some kind of city sanctioned listening event or a discussion that would allow public comments at a meeting in the future. Just because I don't think that, given how contentious of an issue it was and still is to a certain extent, I don't think we can do too much communication and engagement at this point. I think every little bit will help, kind of make the situation go smoothly and help build trust with the community and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Ben? Okay, I don't have anything additional to add, so we're going to just keep this meeting moving. It brings us down to claims, a regular claims list. If somebody would like to make a motion to approve the claims list, we could do so at this time. Mary?
Oh,
We got your microphone on.
oh,
You can turn it back on and make the
okay.
motion.
I'd make a motion to approve the claims list as presented.
Okay, thank you. Jeff?
I'll second Mary's motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Gens? Yes. Solberg?
Yes.
Erdman?
Yes.
Sommerfeld?
Yes.
Luther?
Yes.
Crow?
Yes.
Sutherland?
Yes.
Yanko?
Yes.
Pickard?
Yes.
Schweppes?
Yes.
Thank you. It brings us down to licenses. Normal license list.
Normal license.
Very good. Thank you. Is there anybody want to make a motion to support the licenses? Jeff Luther?
I'll make a motion to approve the license list, the normal license list as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second to Jeff's motion? Matthew?
I'll second Jeff's motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Now we need to go into closed session. If somebody wants to make a motion to go into closed session, we can do so at this time. Mary?
I'd make a motion to go into closed session.
Okay, is there a-
Mary, could you outline the full motion of why we go in there just to cover our state statute?
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.